Hi, welcome to the video that follows entitled Why Mother Mary Isn't the Only Virgin that we have, and why you can't be like her. So, I connect to this guy today, and I decide to be listening, and I decide to be following. So, for those who are listening, not to the angels, but to the stars, with empathy, then that person is able to understand the various action steps that follow the degree required to enter into the temple. That's covering the stars, but at the same time it's beneath them. So why do you not understand the essence and the idea of virginity? The concept of a star being open and receptive is misleading, because a star can only shine. Even if one is unable to interpret the message of a star night, then nevertheless one automatically receive in his or her subconscious the information that change you or guide you. So the northern star is the pole of many people who, like yourself, desire to be connected to the idea of angeldom, because the only way to be guided is to connect to a guide. A lot of people take their mother as a guide. A lot of people take a virgin as a whole. A lot of people believe that virginity was never spoken of by the angels that were in the heavens before the invention of Mary. So now, how come is it that no angel was an angel in the end, because all angels are virgin? And one is able to express virginity even while having sex if you reach that peak point. But so if you're at that peak, you don't need to cover the sky with the fear of love, of death, or with a naked body or pornography. You going back to my original idea, angels talked to humanity before Christ came for 8,000 years, including, we believe, to the Jews. And to those people who spontaneously believed in the power of magic, including angel magic, and they understand the ideas beneath the many wings of the seraphim, the highest orders of angels, and the concept of fire that purifies and sublimes the spirit, making it equal to the Spirit of God. So by assuming that no virgin was as virgin, Mother Mary is put in like an award, or better, and that's possible if you are God, to in Jehovah, a degree to her virginity, but no degree to a quality that's pure, firstborn, and unique to each person in terms of freedom of expression. And it even violates divine law to think that a woman, were it true, for her virginity or for being created without sin, as if other people were created with sin, because in truth Adam and Eve were created sinless, I believe, and so was Lilith, who didn't eat from the apple of death. And to make a long story short, a lot of people understand the Torah as, in particular, the same revelation that's in the Bible, called the bread, Leviticus. And Leviticus is a book for people who want to grow spiritually and therefore be pure, hence the prohibition in the Eucharist and the bread that Jewish people commonly eat in Israel, to be in some sort of way touched, or you could say contaminated, if you will, by the principle called yeast. Arabs usually don't eat their bread, which is really good with yeast, for the reason that the first wife of the Prophet, and Satan has got 5 wives too, absolutely prohibited the consumption of foods that were made by nature, with the exception that they could eat bread if it wasn't without lievito in Italian, so yeast. So when Leviathan, the demon of the subconscious, and one wonders where one takes food from if nothing is from nature, and options were advanced in hypothesis, but no real answer from Allah, or from Akka, which is another Arab name, and these two make me think of here and there in Italian. But despite the fact that Azazel taught women how to wear makeup, there is a use of makeup that is good for angels too. What he taught humankind was something that was going to be more liberating and to be later connected to the spirit of Lilith. So, from that idea, the civilization that we call Egyptian was born. And there Isis came to be the woman who never had sex, although she always said that she would, but she never did. So this is why fairies express for the way they ride the white unicorn and not the white horse like Christ, because there's different fairies and different ideas out there too on who Jesus is. And the Jews didn't accept to call him the Messiah, because in some of their texts that Jesus altered physically, it was written that because he could use magic, and we wonder what color of magic that is. And please do watch 50 Shades of Grey today or tomorrow maybe. So the crucifixion is, they didn't accept him because they found discrepancy in the law of Moses that he never denied to be against him. So that's one of the secrets. And to follow my lead, the crucifixion was some sort of movie shot to not only by Mel Gibson, which I salute, but by God, who thought that, and the Jews read it without an O, because in truth they recognize him to be a person. Having no wings, he's not an angel, and there is a source principle, like the same New Age source, for Diana Cooper and others use that terminology. And people like Lucy Cavendish connect to, which is another name, they connect to the source, because it's a different energy, that the energy of God. And being the source, a symbol that is nevertheless to be called positive, then a source has a different energy than Jehovah. So either Jehovah doesn't come from the source, or Jehovah is at times different from the energy of the source. And Jesus' energy was found to be slightly different than the energy of God sometimes. So people didn't understand in which way the Holy Trinity could be a fault. So how come is it that Mary could jump on the train of virginity first while watching her son who is naked, and then why is it not a holy thing to be naked in a church if she's topless each party in every cathedral? And why is it that Lucifer could not enter with the modest proposal like that? I think I don't recall the name of the English writer, but could have been Jonathan Swift. Why could he not enter with the idea of liberating the Jewish people himself, thusly elevating him and others to the skies, because it was allowed, as if we're waiting for God's permission, but it was allowed to he was allowed to give Jewish people the opportunity to be saved and therefore to ascend to the skies and free the people of Israel, and all souls would have been saved, including God's soul, because God has a heart and a soul too, and God is usually considered to be the creator God, who a lot of people call the sun, and a lot of people call the whore Babylon a goddess, and a lot of people call Jesus the Messiah, and these three people together, a lot of people believe to be connected to the one. But Damien says that instead of Simon says, like Jesus, Damien says that one has the right to be God only if a demon accepts you to be God. So how is it that the Spirit of God is violating no law, no more existing in the law of Mother Mary? How come is it that Mary took the law of Saint Gabriel and modified it to the point that the moon was no longer considered to be sacred or holy or pure or virgin when Jesus was crucified during the Solomonic hour of the moon? So what is it that Solomon, who is quoted in the Bible, and she never said and never labeled him as a demon, why Solomon was contrasted by the powerful virgin of all virgins, Jesus, Yeshua, and why while he fell, why do you pick him up? Why do you regret not being able to help someone if you have the heart of the Virgin, which by definition and sound and number, and especially by divine law, is the one who can always help just by her presence? So if the presence of Mary wasn't that of a saint during her life, how is it that she could become a saint just by bringing another, yet a fourth, whore to the Temple of Babylon that was going to be Jesus' crucifixion up there? And is that enough to surrender to the devil once and for all? And is it enough to therefore lose the kingdom of the earth that was going to be assigned to this threesome that's holy, that they call Mother Mary, Jesus, can fuck? So again, my point in this lesson is to give you a definition of virginity. Virginity is that quality that you want to have by keeping true to yourself when you opened your eyes the first time. Or if you want to be like Mother Mary in the archetype or the deific mask, if you will, that you want to wear in order to embody that, then as Archangel Cassiel wouldn't be able to spread, then every virgin is a virgin for her pure look. So basically she's adopting a technique that's that starts from a behavior. So act like a virgin. that if you connect it, which she didn't, to your inner spirit, or she didn't do it for too long, then you automatically are with dignity enough to restore the soul of the woman that you are. And why is she such a role model when Athena or Venus, or again nature, or even Aisha, the wife of Muhammad, were not? Or why, how come is it that Eve could not make sanctity of death while Jesus could, if death is something that comes from the devil? Or is Jesus' death holy because he with the fake sense of godhood associated to the baptism on the Jordan River by John the Baptist, how come John the Baptist accepted the vulgarity of displaying him humble while again, this is not a movie, so I'm throwing but movies were made again. This is not Braveheart that we're doing, this is not Odin, but this is all comes in a package of different truths and different patterns that one can wonder, at least, and one can ask. Christians call it the Holy Spirit, but even the Spirit of the land, and ask the land, which was created by God, unless nature wasn't. And by the way, the Quran says that anyone who despises nature should be insulted with lack of trueness. And so concluding, why is it that, in short, we cannot be ourselves unless we go after someone? Can we all be individuals, or God's firstborns? Why can we all be loved in the same way? And to the scrupulous person, the reason is because. So this is Jehovah. Why not because? So they turn you into a child to make you ignorant and then not give the answers that you had right there. Like Jesus said, inside of you there's bird means cock in Italian. There's a bird that's holy. So, and is in the Vatican right here. So again, with the help of the light bearer, try to question things that are said to you. Even Buddha would say this, and if they resonate with you, then you embrace them. If not, you wonder and wonder and wonder more until you possibly reject them, unless you want to be impure. So the only way to perfect your virginity is to question what is given to you, and one time isn't enough, because the Immaculate Conception is something that can be applicable according to the law of the Vatican only to the forehead of Mary that doesn't have, for one thing, the mark of the beast, and for another, she was created without sin. But if she was created without sin, why is it, if she did, that she received Jesus' baptism, or did she not? So I want to say thank you. God's message for today is in Matthew 8, when Jesus says, because everything has to be taken with the right hands, Jesus says, definitely something that you could trace back elsewhere too, but Jesus says, you can be all who you want to be if you learn to take what's good in each person and in each thing. Thank you and goodbye.